You ever get that feeling that your online accounts are, well, talking to each other behind your back? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on why that's happening, and more importantly, how you can build a digital wall between them for good.
So let's start with this. Have you ever logged into a new account, maybe you're in a private window, you've cleared all your cookies, and it still feels like the website knows you? Or maybe you're juggling multiple client accounts and you have this nagging fear that they're all getting linked together. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are not imagining it.
Yeah, this is what we call the multi-login headache. It's that constant nagging feeling when you're managing a bunch of accounts for work or for your clients, always worried that you're going to trip some invisible wire. And if you're managing ad accounts or running a few e-commerce stores or handling social media for different people, you know this pain all too well. It's the endless cycle of logging in and out. It's the fear of getting your accounts flagged or restricted. And it's that really weird feeling that even when you've wiped your cookies clean, the accounts somehow still recognize each other. And the reason? Well, it goes way, way deeper than just cookies.
So what is the real culprit here? It's something called a browser fingerprint. Think of it like a unique digital signature that your browser leaves absolutely everywhere you go online. It all starts with these little, seemingly harmless clues. You know, websites can easily see what time zone your computer is set to and what your preferred language is. Seems innocent enough, right?
But then it starts to layer on more details, things like your exact screen resolution, the pixel density, and get this, the entire list of fonts you have installed on your computer. And yes, believe it or not, your personal font collection is way more unique than you probably think.
And it gets even more specific. We're talking about tiny, tiny differences in how your exact graphics card renders an image, or how your audio hardware processes sound. Each one of these little quirks can be measured, and each one becomes another piece of the puzzle.
Now look, any one of these details on its own isn't a big deal. But when you combine all of them, your time zone, your fonts, your screen size, those little hardware quirks, they come together to create a browser fingerprint. And this profile is so unique, it can identify your specific device across totally different websites and sessions, even if you've turned off every single cookie.
Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, but wait, I use a VPN. I'm covered, right? Well, unfortunately, a VPN only solves one very small piece of this puzzle.
Let me put it this way. A VPN changes your IP address. That's kind of like changing the license plate on your car. But the car itself, the make, the model, the color, that little dent in the fender, all of that stays exactly the same. Your browser fingerprint, that's the car, and it is still perfectly, uniquely identifiable.
And this is exactly why trying to trick websites or fake your identity is really a losing game. The best strategy isn't deception, it's total, complete separation. So this really gives us two different paths. On one hand, you've got spoofing, which tries to lie about your fingerprint. It's risky, it's brittle, it often just breaks websites, and it's a great way to get your accounts flagged. But then you have isolation. Isolation doesn't lie. It just builds a clean, sturdy digital wall between every single one of your online activities. There are no signals to link because they're truly separate.
So, how do you actually achieve this kind of isolation in the real world? Well, one of the tools built on this very principle is a cloud browser called Sendwin.
So here's how that wall building actually works. Every single tab you open has its own completely separate cookie jar. You can even assign a different proxy to different tabs, making it look like you're in a different country in each one. And because all the web pages are actually running in the cloud, not on your local machine, your actual device and its fingerprint are never exposed. You can even securely share a logged-in session with a teammate without ever having to give them your password. It's pretty cool.
So for a marketing professional, this means you can literally have 3 different client ad accounts open right next to each other, comparing data in real time with zero risk of them getting linked.
Or if you're an SEO pro, this is all about getting clean, unbiased data. You can check search rankings from New York, London, and Singapore, all at the same time, in the same window, and know for a fact the results aren't being skewed by your personal search history.
And for an e-commerce seller with multiple stores, it means you can test your checkout flows and your promotions for each store in complete isolation, making sure there is absolutely no data bleeding from one to the other.
All right, so if this is sounding like the solution you've been looking for, what does it actually take to get up and running?
Well, the process is incredibly simple. You just sign up, you pick a plan that works for you, and you can launch your very first isolated cloud session right from the dashboard. And because it's all in the cloud, there's absolutely nothing to install on your computer.
The pricing is really straightforward too. It's designed for professionals and for teams who really need this level of separation to get their work done every day.
And probably the best part is there's a $1 7-day trial. It gives you full access to the entire platform, so you can really see for yourself if it solves these headaches for you. And it's also backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So at the end of the day, this idea of true digital isolation, it isn't really about hiding. It's about control, it's about security, and it's about efficiency. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. If you could build a perfect impenetrable wall between every single one of your online tasks, what would you build?